Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 205, Feeling Alive of the Super Weapon Podcast, most overpowered podcast on the internet. It's your boy, Dearest Artist, and as always, got my co-host DC here with me today.
Yes. What up, Doe? This is standing DC. For our audio listeners,
Ooh, a lot
I
of
just want you to
changes.
know that I'm standing up. No chair, baby. Look at that versatility. Look at that pelvic twirl around that
Oh,
I can do
man.
now.
He's very
And I can hit
athletic.
a squat.
Very athletic, man. Oh,
Yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm feeling the stand up. I'm feeling the stand up.
I like that you're switching it up, man. I actually forgot you had a stand-up desk, but it's good that you're utilizing
Hell,
it
I
like
forgot
that.
I had one. I got a treadmill under me too, so I can.
Oh, got a little walk-in desk treadmill. I like it, man. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Hey man, well
Doing my thing.
happy Saturday, man. Another beautiful episode. Going into the books, man. Here we are closer to the end of the year, man. Actually got a lot going on this weekend. You know, you got TGS going on. We had a state of play this past week. There was some Ubisoft news. I think we'll try to squeeze some of that TGS stuff in at the end, but like I said, it's going on now. We might just flip that next week. But I do want to talk about this state of play, man. I was not I was actually
Look,
pleasantly
notes.
surprised to see that they announced this week. And we had this on the 24th, which was Tuesday, I think. So it was a couple of days ago. So did you have a chance to watch the state of play? Are you excited about anything? Is this gonna make you spend that $700, man? Most important question.
Hell no. And I'm standing on that. And it's only because, like I said before in the last episode, I already own a PS5. If I didn't,
Yeah.
I would. But I don't. So I just want to laugh at all the people who complained about it, but then they're sold out. Shout out to
Man,
you guys.
yeah, we could talk about that. The pre-orders for the PS5 Pro went live a few days ago, and man, I can't say I'm surprised, but the amount, it seemed like there were quite a few that went to some bots. I mean, because I think an hour after they sold out, they were up on eBay for thousands of dollars, man, which is just insane.
Unfortunately, we still dealing with this bullshit, right?
Man,
I hate that culture. I hate this scalping using bots.
yeah, that's the perfect word
to
for it. Yeah,
run
scalpers.
up.
Yeah,
Hey, yo, Sony, but you know what? I want to say this. Sony, I'm keeping an eye on you. I think you're the bot. I think you're the bots.
you think
I'm just gonna,
they're artificially
I wouldn't be
inflated?
surprised.
I mean,
I hope not. Sony, I really, really hope not. But I've spoken with a few people over at Reddit, and I never thought about that. I was like, that would be crazy.
quite the
right?
turn of events that would be. I mean, that's something that we had kind of talked about, thinking that they were artificially, shortening the amount of these that were probably going to be available at this point, because that's the one thing I'm really curious about, is for them to report on how many of these actually sold.
Yeah.
Pre-order numbers are one thing, as always. That's hyperbole, in my opinion, that a lot of studios use to, or that console makers use to try to make their numbers look better to investors and everything. And that isn't to say that I didn't think this thing was going to sell, but I do think there's some artificial shortage going on. I mean, we're going into the holidays, man. Let's just be honest. The call is coming from inside the house, just like BZ said. That's an interesting theory, man. I'm actually gonna keep some tabs on that one.
Keeping ears to the streets.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I was in Reddit and it came across. I had a discussion with a few of the Redditors, and I was like, damn, I never thought about that. Run the score up, right? Just and
I
then
mean,
whatever
yeah,
don't sell on eBay, you just put back on the market, right?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think what's crazy to me is that people are gonna spend that extra money to buy the ones off eBay, especially those 30th anniversary ones. I mean, it's just funny. Like I said, man, it's just funny to me how you had the initial announcement of the Pro, didn't go over very well and didn't seem like at first, but then they just kind of flip sentiment and goodwill with the gray box, man, the legendary gray color. And I mean,
that was planned. I don't leave nothing to chance. I think that Sony has a brilliant marketing team.
yeah,
I think everything that they do is strategic. Also, I mean, I'm not just saying with Sony. I think with a lot of these major companies, there's a lot of that goes on at the round tables, at the think tanks, and
Right.
like, hey, we're gonna drop this, and then if sales are a little lukewarm, we'll drop the 30th anniversary gray box PS1/PS5 Pro XL. Ooh.
Because I wonder if they would have announced that later or closer to like Christmas. You know what I mean? Like to the initial launch. Because if they short strip their supply, they had to make a
Mm-hmm.
certain amount for the 30th anniversary and then a certain amount for the normal kind too. So I mean, it kind of makes sense now that you got me thinking about it, man. That's an interesting theory. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if they do it, good on them, man. I mean, Sony has. I mean, they know what they're doing. They know their brand. They know how to get people excited, and that's what kind of the theme I got from this state of play. I didn't really see a lot of people upset with this one in particular, or a lot of people seem to have found some games and some things that they're interested in. I know I
Man,
did
people
for
are
sure.
flip floppers, man.
Yeah.
People are such y'all flop around more than a damn fish. And let me tell you why I say that. Because we just had the discourse. Now, I try not to take the internet seriously when it comes to certain things, but there was a whole discourse maybe about a month ago
Yeah.
that PlayStation was having a slow year. What's going on over there? They dropped a Pro without no games on it to really showcase the Pro's power. It was all this negative discourse, right?
True.
State of Play drops. I don't want to hear shit. 2025 is lit. Like,
Yeah, 2025 is
you
crazy.
can't have a crazy year every year, right? Because they was just like, oh, 2024, besides this game, this game, and this game, it's been slow. It's been blah, blah, blah. It's been slow for
Which
PlayStation.
is crazy to think about because this year hasn't been. I don't think it's
The
been
most,
slow in terms of games. I think there's actually been a lot of really good games that came out this year, or follow ups. I mean, there's been a lot of
see, it
flashes
depends
in
on
the
who you're
pan.
talking
I
to,
guess
though, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It depends on who you're talking to because a lot of people, they see the failure of certain games and then they want to, like, they look at that as a whole. Like, the whole thing with, what's the game that just came and went, unfortunately? It cost
Concord,
them a lot of money.
Concord, yeah.
Concord, and they're like, oh, what Sony's going to do? Blah, blah. Like, Sony has never been down bad. I don't
No,
know where this is coming
I
from.
mean,
Like, people,
I think it's just really what a lot we talked about last week, man. And nobody wants to play a 7 out of 10. Nobody really wants to play a 6 out of 10. A game that's just okay, And then you got the other side where everyone's trying to be like Fortnite or create the next live service, hit, which I think the industry just kind of tired of, honestly, man. I know me personally, like keeping up with live service games has always been like the last couple years too, like it's just been kind of a chore. That's why we fell off of Destiny. That's why, a lot of those games just kind of like they're fun for me for like a day or two, and then I'm like, I don't want to chase I don't want to be the,
man,
the
just
rabbit
say it,
chasing the carrot
man.
on a stick. It's just boring at that
My
point.
man Darius he's so just, he's such a nice guy. So I'm going to say it. Nobody wants to play a game and feel like they're at freaking work.
Yeah, nah, I mean
Once,
that's
once it
really
start
what it
feeling like a
is. Yeah,
chore,
your taste change.
nobody, like, bro, I just came home, 8 hour shift. I don't want to have to feel like, oh shit, it's Tuesday.
All
Did I
right.
miss the Tuesday event? Oh my God.
Oh man,
What is
it's
it? Did I do
Tuesday.
my
We got a
dailies? Did I
raid
do it?
or yeah.
Oh, I got to get prepared for the raid. I'm
Yeah.
so behind. Oh my God. Like, Doug, I'm me as a gamer, and I was the first one to fall off Destiny. I planted my flag early because I was just like, you
Yeah.
know what? It's not fun to me and then it's always this meta bullshit. Like, if you don't have certain things, people don't want to play with
People
you.
won't raid with
And
you or anything. Yeah, looking for groups was always tough on Destiny, man. And I think,
I don't. It's not
you
just
know,
Destiny. I've
nah,
experienced
nah,
that with
nah, for sure.
what was that game where you was in New York? I love The Division. It was
Yeah, yeah,
any game
true.
like that, you gonna experience that meta divide is what I like to call it. MD. Like, some
Yeah,
people.
and the way that these games come out too, man. I mean, you take a look at the last couple of live service games that hit the market. They always go through this phase of, they release the game. There's initial hype about it. People play it for a few weeks, and then they start to figure out, the things about the formula that they don't like. They start to look at the ingredients on the back of the label, and then the company comes back. Here's some quality of life updates we're gonna do. By that point, you've already lost half of your player base, and then the games just kind of fold. I mean, it happened with Anthem. It happened with, I guess you can say Destiny at this point, but Concord. I mean, even there was the one that came out a couple weeks ago. Was the first Descendant. Nobody's really talking about that. I mean, it's just tough, man. I don't know. Like I said, I think my tastes, personally, have just changed over time, and I already, don't have as much time as I used to play games, and I want to enjoy the things that I play.
Very selective.
Yeah, the time that I
Very
have
selective
to play,
with your time.
I think
As an
Sony's.
adult, you should be.
Yeah.
So that's just how it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think they're really gonna pivot away from trying to make as many live service games as they said in the past. I think they probably have learned a very expensive lesson with with Concord, $400 million lesson. They had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I think
I don't think we'll see a lot of those honestly going forward. I mean, you got Borderlands 4 coming out, but
yeah, and I think with that being said as well, Sony, this is the deal, y'all. Sony does a magnificent job with their solo campaign, story-driven games
right,
like Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that, right?
yeah,
But truth be told, is it's very, very hard to capitalize off these type of games nowadays. That's why you're seeing battle passes and microtransactions and stuff being pushed so heavy and live service games. So
yeah,
we have to look at this. If Ghost is your game, then you have to fully support it. Support it as much as you can, even if it's with Twitter blasts, words of mouth, like if you're telling your friends, because at the end of the day, if you want to keep getting these beautiful games, then we're going to have to find ways to support these games, man. Like Ghost, like, man, I'm telling you, Ghost is one of my favorite franchises. I would go buy merch.
It was
I
definitely
would
game of
buy
the
a
year for me.
statue. I would go buy their merch. If you support the game, if you claim it's one of your favorite games, help the studio out by, if they have any merch or anything, buy it, support it, show it on your socials. We have to start supporting these games because it's getting tougher for games like Ghost to be made. You know what I mean? I just wanted to say that.
No, you hit the nail like on the head, man. Yo, what's going on, Darkstar? And BZ in chat said, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Companies are competing for our time now. They are, and I look at, and I will give Sony some credit. I try to be as unbiased as possible, but I will give them credit that I like that they're doing. And they talked about this with the sequel to Ghost that we'll talk about in a little bit. But they've come out and said that they're expanding the franchises of these. Started out as games, but they're expanding them out into like TV and film, and other mediums, which I really do like. I think they've done a fantastic job with Spider-Man. I as much as it pains me to say this, I don't think Spider-Man would be as popular in mainstream media today without Sony. Like if he would have went back to Marvel all those years ago, I can't say they would have done a great job with what Sony has done. Because that was back when they didn't really seem like they didn't know what they were figuring out or what they could do. But they've turned it into a movie franchise. You got Insomniac pumping out Spider-Man and Marvel games, and I believe the director of John Wick is supposed to be the one developing the movie for Ghost. So that could be interesting. I mean, I think that's good ways to kind of supplant the just sales of games, because I mean, as we see every year, it's just not enough, right? Like,
Exactly.
it does, and that's something we're going to talk about with Ubisoft and kind of where it's landed them. The sales figures or projections are so ridiculous for a lot of these games because they have to be. With the amount of money that is being pumped into the AAA space, they have to figure out a way to subsidize or monetize the IP. And I think we'll start getting a lot more gaming adjacent stuff. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea as long as you give it to the right people to create. So It's interesting though, man. I mean, you brought up a lot of good points, and things I didn't really think about. But I think Sony is in an interesting place. But let's talk about the state of play. So they had a couple of games, man. It was about 40 some odd minutes, 50 minutes. Wasn't super long. Was there anything in particular that you were interested in? I mean, obviously, or we could just talk about Ghost for 30 minutes. I could totally be
man, we
fine,
could
dude.
take.
It was such
This
a
is what I love about our pod because we take it wherever the hell we want to take it. We talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. And right now, I got the laptop fired up. I'm pulling up my notes. Wait, give me a second here. I mean, we could talk about Ghost all day. That could be like a separate little 20-minute episode
yeah.
if you want to.
I mean, because that was one of the games we did that deep dive episode on, and it was my personal game of the year when it came out, and it's crazy to think that it's been 5 years since Ghost has come out. And I mean, like Sucker Punch, Sucker Punch is just. I think they've been hitting on all cylinders lately. Even back when they used to make Sly Cooper, like I just I see a lot of legacy with them, man, and I'm glad that they are. It seems like they've kind of figured it out. I know a lot of people still want them to make Infamous. I don't know if you've ever played any either of the Infamous games.
I've played them. I think two. One to me wasn't that good.
Yeah,
I think it
one
was very
seemed like a
unpolished.
proof of concept for them almost.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was very unpolished, but I think they did a lot of course correcting when part two came out.
Right.
They have a good concept. It was, but when I kind of like look at it, I can't help but to think of like Venom. But,
yeah, sure. Okay.
No, it's just like the black armor, whatever alien.
Just like
type.
the vibe of it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it. That game could. I mean, it don't even have to be like a remake or nothing. It could just be like part 3, or it could be
give people the part 3.
a reboot, soft reboot or something. But the game got, as the old folks say, good bones.
It has good bones in it, yeah, man. I mean, it's cool. I mean, hey, we can actually talk about Astro Bot. I will give credit where credit is due. Since this was the first game that popped up, right? I actually did want to talk about this. This I think has the potential to be the next mascot if it's not already for Sony. You had Sackboy, the PS3, PS4 generation. I think Astrobot's really about to take over, man. I mean, the game reviewed super well. It seems like everyone that played it loved it. I mean, some people have even been calling this like game of the year. And, like I said, I'll give credit where credit is due. I actually want to play this. And, me and Lisa were talking about playing it the other day. It looks like a pleasant surprise. I've never played the Astros Playroom, the tech demo. You told me you checked that out, didn't you? Or
yes.
So what did you like? Yeah, what did you think about that? And were you looking at picking up Astrobot?
First of all, let me tell you something. The level of difficulty I've seen in this game, not for kids. All right. The biggest lie ever told is that Astro is for kids.
It looks really hard. Some of the stuff is.
And when I say kids, I'm talking about young kids.
Right.
Like maybe like 7 and under, you got the cutesy little robot and the very beautiful atmosphere, and people really get this game twisted. Part 2 is definitely a difficult game as far as gameplay goes in certain areas of the game. I've played part 1. Now, I would say part 1 is way easier, so it's definitely a family game. Part 2, oh, man. It's amazing. It's one of those games. See, this is what Sony does so damn well. Games that people are not even thinking about, right?
Right.
Land, and they make such a big impact that it just adds to Sony's exclusive library of good ass games. Like, remember when Ghost dropped? Like, Ghost dropped, and I mean, we're familiar with Sucker Punch and what they do.
Right.
But we never expected Ghost to be to hit this big.
Yeah, man.
Like, they have games that just pop up and they just hit. Sony, I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're doing it well, So with Astro, It's just another game that kind of came out of nowhere, and it's fun. It's fun. It definitely gives you, it gives you a different genre of game to play besides like a shooter or something. You
Yeah.
got this platformer that's fun, but it don't take itself too serious. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of just relax with it. And I think that's part of the allure and appeal of this game. Well, at least it is for me.
Nah, I mean you hit the nail on the head, man. I think I don't want to say taking the Nintendo angle on this because looking
And
at
Dre, right? I
Astrobot,
don't mean to cut you off, but even the cat game, Stray did
yeah,
well.
yeah, it did really well for them, and they seem like they have this really good eye, because this game was made I think by 60 people or less, which is pretty crazy considering the quality of the game and everything just seems so well put together. As a lot of people have been comparing this to Mario, so this does look like I said, it's something that I'm definitely looking to pick up. And they're dropping 5 free levels. That was the announcement for the state of play, and 10 new bots to rescue. So, I mean, it's like all IP from like PlayStation console history and stuff. So it's all cool to see. So, I think this is, I talked a little bit of shit about it, about the price tag and everything, but I'll be honest about it. It looks cool to pick up. So, yeah, that was the first one, man, that really kind of caught my eye, and they started
Okay,
off the show with that. So,
and that was on my list too. So I love when it works out that way.
yeah.
Oh, let me center my laptop. Let's do this.
Hey, what you got over there, man? What you got brewing over there?
Okay, so you got that one off my list. Obviously, we're both going to talk about Ghost of Tsushima 2, so we don't need to put that on the list just yet.
Ghost of Yote. Yeah, man.
Yote, hey. Quit being weird because she's a woman. Get over it. Well, obviously, we're both going to talk about Monster Hunter, so I'm not going to go there.
Hey, we can.
No. Don't
We
get
can.
too hype. Relax. Oh, Monhun in the house. We know you're going to lose your mind.
We sure can.
I'm gonna throw us off a little bit. So it was something that I looked at, and all through our podcast journey, I've expressed deep sentiment about certain RPG type games I like to play.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Neo Dimensions.
Oh, let me find that.
With Neo Dimensions. Yeah, Neo Dimensions. It give me that old school JRPG feel, man. I'm all about the turn-based battle, the slow battling.
Ah, yes.
No
Okay.
disrespect to all my new Final Fantasy hack and slash people out there who like to play the game at a little faster pace. I'm old. I'm an old school guy. I love my turn-based battling. I grew up on Final Fantasy 1. I played the game ridiculously. Like, man, it brings back memories, man. I like my JRPGs, man. I like them slow.
I like this pick, man. Fantasian Neo. This is the classic ingredients for everything you need for a JRPG too. Just looking at the gameplay and everything, I actually really like the art style and everything. This is a pretty sneaky pick. Okay, I like this, man. This is cool.
Yeah, and you know what makes me mad? Because as much shit as I talk about these games and like how much I love them, these type of games usually take a nice bit of time, and you have to really sit down with them. It's nothing about these games that you're just going to blaze through within a week or so. For 2025, I want to do this. I want to make a promise to myself to get a game like this or similar to this, sit down and actually enjoy it and play it all the way through. I need that in my life. I think I really need that. And to see that this is coming out next year, it may be...
Actually, it comes out in December of this year. December 12th.
Even better. So,
little
I really want to just dig
yourself,
deep into
man.
one of these games, man. Yeah, for sure.
This is cool, yeah. I like that. I mean, Sony always seems to have a line on these games. You just had was it Visions of Mana that came out, chat? That came out a couple of days ago, and unfortunately the studio closed the same day it came out. Yeah, it's another crazy story, but I like that, we have these games that are still very, very popular. Much like you, man, I grew up playing JRPGs as well. I keep telling everybody, if you ever get the chance to play Lost Odyssey, man, it is one of the best that came out. Pretty much the only one that came out on 360. But yeah, this game actually looks really cool, man. I might have to put this on a wish list somewhere. I like that. Cool.
Yeah, like I said, man, this is not a it's not a knock to the newer style of
No, no, no.
RPGs. Like I just really I don't know. I'm stuck in my ways. Like it's hard for me to convert to the newer, faster paced, action based games. Cause like the last Final Fantasy that came out, amazing game.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I might play it, but I just feel like it may not be for me. I know our homie who's in chat, Dark Star, he
yeah.
swears by it. He has impeccable taste when it comes to games, so I believe him. But yeah, and don't you look at that game too long because that's one of my sleepers too. You little jerk.
Oh
I
no,
see
this
you
is what
looking at
we're
it.
gonna talk about next, man. Actually,
Oh, the Midnight
yeah,
Walk.
yeah. This game. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Yeah, we can talk about this.
claymation. First of all, sold. Claymation sold. I'm
Yeah,
already
I
sold.
think I think that's what really impressed me as well. And
USOB.
this. I mean, this game. You don't really get to see a lot of stuff like this, and I'm glad that we get to still see parts of the industry being creative. Right. These are the type of games that we've always talked about highlighting, and not just because it's something different, but it actually looks really interesting. And I like this kind of creepy. It's giving me like Tim Burton vibes almost, you know what I mean? Just very weird, and proportions and stuff are exaggerated on these enemies. So it looks like you're like this little pot guy, trying to survive in this. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
even
I tried
really.
to read up on it,
Yeah.
and I still really couldn't figure out. Like, let me look at my notes. I still couldn't figure out really what it was about. Besides you just like kind of transversing through this weird,
Right.
creepy universe. Like, it didn't really give too much about what's going on. Like, it looks beautiful
Yeah.
to me. One of my friends, I know she's gonna love this game because this is right up her alley. She really likes the weird,
This is
creepy
almost
look.
giving
Like
me
it looks good. It looks
gosh.
so damn good, man.
What is the name of the game series that is on Xbox?
Little Nightmares.
No, 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 not Little Nightmares.
That's
It
what it kind of
it was
reminded me of a
made
little
it was
bit.
made by, gosh, man,
And it's on VR. Holy shit!
they
I didn't
just
know
came out
that.
with a sequel for the game, chat. It was on Xbox after like 20 years. Oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me. I'll figure it out later. But yeah, this game
Okay.
definitely just unique vibe. It's super interesting. I can't wait to see more of it. And the fact that it's claymation was, like everyone says, that's a
Sold.
big plus. So yeah,
Sold.
the Midnight Walk, and also you can play this on PSVR 2, which is pretty cool because there
I
seems to
don't
be
know
some sort
why
of.
the hell you want to do that.
Yeah, hey, good luck to you. But yeah, this game comes out spring of next year. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that, man. That's something I have to pick up on that. So yeah, what's your next one, man? Shotgun Blast, bang.
Hey, I mean, you can scroll down. Go ahead, scroll down a little bit. We're here. No, go back up. We
Yeah,
don't
that's a
know.
weird
Go
thing.
back to
Yeah.
Turtles. You might as well go back to Turtles,
Oh, you
bro. We
wanna
might
you
as well
wanna talk
talk
about
about it.
Shredder's Revenge, man? The Radical
Come on, man.
Reptiles.
You know who I am, the beat 'em up king, bro. Side scrolling, beating ass. Come
Yeah,
on, bro.
this is fire, man. This game was on Game Pass too. I don't know if anyone's tried it out. I believe this is on PlayStation Plus as well. But yeah, so they
Mona
they announced an
Lisa.
expansion, the Radical Reptiles. You play as two new characters. I believe there's some extra, or maybe there's new levels and whatnot. But I mean, come on, man. Just like you said, right? Like this is just a good time to play with friends. If you guys haven't checked out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, support these kind of games, man. Like these are just fun to play with buds. Just relax, shoot the
Taking me
shit.
back, man. It
Yeah.
takes me back to I don't know if y'all remember the four. Look at that man. Hey, Michelangelo got that footwork. Come on, bro. He must be from Detroit. He
All
got
right,
to be.
okay, come
But
on.
yeah, the games like this, like I said, I think it's a good game to just play with friends and just put your mind in a trash can. Like I don't want to think all of the time.
Yeah.
I just want to press buttons, laugh, and cry a little bit because when I die, I actually scream. These type of games do it to you when you playing on the hardest level. Like our buddy Darkstar over here, they are some freaks who like to play everything on super hardcore. But yeah,
Um,
man, it just looks fun. And then you could play it with anybody, family, friends, kids.
I
You know
wonder,
what I'm
and I
saying?
believe these games have online matchmaking. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I mean, you get to play as Bondo, Gecko, and Mona Lisa, which is pretty cool.
Which
Turtles, Turtles is having this
Darkstar
little moment,
informed
man.
me Darkstar informed me of a little bit of lore of these two characters. He said they appeared in one episode and one episode only.
What a deep cut. I was wondering myself where they came from.
Yeah, because I was like, huh? And then when I looked it up, I remembered. I was like, oh shit.
Some very obscure characters, man. Shout out to the Turtles, man. This was another awesome pickup. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you do, man. It's a good time. I mean, you know, play with your family, friends. Very simple game, so I like that.
Play with my mom.
Gonna play with your mom.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna get her into gaming, bro. I'm gonna get her.
Man, guys, got to, man. Okay, so I want to talk about a VR game, man. Surprise, surprise.
I was gonna talk about VR as a whole, but we're here.
Yeah,
and I knew it.
I really like this this Hitman game. This actually impressed me quite a bit. Watching this, just this trailer and this gameplay. I mean, some of the stuff kind of looks a little weird, of course, but because it's VR. But I think that, you know, VR is getting. It seems like companies are getting a little bit more comfortable with kind of figuring out the gameplay, because that always seemed the most awkward thing to me, was like moving through the 3D space. But I mean, we kind of talked about VR stuff a couple weeks ago. You know, it seems like, you know, the Oculus is a good option. I don't know about I'm sure people are using the PSVR too. I'm actually curious about how the sales have been for that. But yeah, this just kind of looks fun, man. I'm a fan of Hitman. I'm a big fan of Hitman. So, you know, this would be an ezy pickup if I had a VR headset. I think this looks cool. So I don't know. Just looks like a good time. Well, what were you gonna say about VR though? I'm curious.
No, I was just gonna say that VR seems to be picking up steam a little bit. Yeah. Pun intended.
Handshake.
Come on, guys, laugh at my jokes, or I'm gonna take them away. But yeah, I seem like VR is slowly headed in the right direction. It's a real slow train with a lot of black smoke coming out, but you know, I think with each game, I feel this way. I feel like we're seeing it, like this Hitman. Then there's another game, Metro. I was going to talk about that. How Metro looks good for a VR game. It's looking really good. It does more fluent. It's moving more fluently. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look as clinky. You know how VR was looking kind of. You know, it just had that VR-ish look.
You were doing a lot of skipping around and stuff. You weren't like, it seems like in these games, or at least in the cutscenes, you're floating through the map. And
it has way better movement, and it looks better. Like, look at this.
And I mean, like this isn't the Metro news I personally wanted, but I'll take what we can get. You know, until we hopefully get a Metro 4. Yeah. But I mean, this does look good, and this looks like it's kind of going back to, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever played the Metro series, but the first two games were a little bit more horror centric, you know, in terms of like claustrophobia, and there were a lot of supernatural things going on in the tunnels under Russia. And, you know, it looks like this game is really leaning into that, which I think is a great idea, especially in VR. You know, but yeah, this was definitely, I encourage you guys to play Metro, man. It's a really good series. I'm not sure about the books. We do have a community member who's actually from Russia who loves the Metro series, and he says the books are a little bit hard on translations. So, but it's cool. I mean, you know, you could read the books if you ever wanted to know more about the Metro universe. It's pretty sad.
Book night stream.
Have a book club meeting. Yeah.
I was just talking to a friend about that, and we were joking about that. She was like, "Do you think people will come and watch?" I said, "People watch people sleep." So
that's true.
I was going to
be
say,
weird,
like,
but yeah, that's true. They are weird doing that. Hey man, you like what you like, right? And, you know,
right.
But yeah, Metro looks pretty cool, man. Metro Awakening is what it's called.
But that was not my pick.
Shotgun blast.
It's still my turn. This one's going to throw you off a little bit, and hey, we don't even have to spend a lot of time on it because I think this is just like a throwback. But
okay.
Shout out to Ammunition, Big Am with the Am burgers, because she got me wanting to play this damn game. But for some reason, I feel like it's calling me. I feel like I'm missing something here. All right. I want to go play Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know why.
The remaster.
It's calling me like fresh bacon.
Let's talk about it, man. I actually wanted to talk about this game anyway. what is it about Horizon that is attracting you, I guess, at this point? You know,
Because I keep seeing this cool combat, right?
Okay.
And I want to experience that. Now, look, I've watched gameplay. I've watched Ann. Like I said, I watch Ammunition. I watch her play it.
Yeah.
She's done a very thorough playthrough of this game. And I will admit some parts did make me click another tab. I'm sorry, Ann. Still love you. But when it's time to fight and the way you fight, and I think that, you know, the preparation for fights is kind of, what is he doing? A Lion King? What is he doing here? Oh, anyway.
This is like new cutscenes that they said that they shot. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
He's holding her up like, okay. But yeah. So a lot of it has to do, honestly, with the combat. It just looked very fun to me. Like what we're looking at right now for our audio listeners, we're actually looking at the demo and like how she's fighting the monsters, and then maybe it's because I love robots. It could be a little mixture of both. I really love mechy robots and stuff like that. So I'm intrigued. I'm kind of like, I'm there with it. Like I'm probably gonna buy this. I'm not gonna lie. And I know people have their feelings about it, but I got to experience for myself, you know.
I like that, and there's two different parts of this I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to talk about, you know, just my general thoughts on Horizon as a series. I mean, because this game came out in 2018, I think, and you know, this seems like Sony was positioning this to be one of those pillars, like we talked about earlier. I mean, you know, I think this has a show.
I think it is. I think it's just one of the back pillars.
Yeah, this doesn't seem as popular, and I don't know for me if it's like the IP itself or
it has a following, though.
The gameplay. Yeah, it does. It has a really big following, and you know, even Darkstar in chat said he played both, and as a self-proclaimed Sony pony, you know, they're boring. Yeah, you didn't miss much, Tina. It's my thing is, I feel like this was just an unneeded, you know, remaster, right? Like we've talked a lot.
I can agree with that.
You know, I feel like we just have hit this point in the industry where
just throwing around remaster.
Where you're throwing around that term so easily on these properties, and you know, this, like I said, this game hasn't even been, you know, a release. This is under a 10-year-old game at this point, and you know, the fact that they're coming back to not only do repackage this and sell it to people who've never played the series, but you also have people who have to pay that $10 upgrade if you want these features, right? And as far as I've seen, it's only like extra cutscenes that have been brought up to the level, I guess, of the second game. New audio support is saying, and DualSense support. But I just, you know, once again, you know, it's always one step forward, 2 steps back with Sony, and I feel like this was just like unnecessary, man. Like people have been asking for other remasters of things, and I get
that's actually older.
Yeah, and I get people's sentiments like, oh well, if they spend the time to remaster something, you know, bring it up to quote unquote modern standards, you know, there's a fear of it not making money. And I always point people back to Resident Evil 2. You know, that just came out a couple years ago that Capcom released, and Resident Evil 4 that they released. Like if you put enough care and time into a remaster, it'll sell well. Especially if it's a series that people want, you know, I don't know, Bloodborne, that people have been asking about, you know, the fact that Souls games are like really hot. I've never played Bloodborne myself, so, you know, I would love to see it. Yeah, I would love to see it remastered, so, you know, we could get a chance to check it out. But here we are stuck in these, you know, very safe franchises, these things that we know will probably sell, that people will probably buy. You know, it's the Apple effect.
And let me tell you,
I don't know.
We ain't seen the last of Us. See what I did there?
Oh heck, they're
gonna be remaking that game to the end of time.
I mean, yeah, we can even talk about that. I mean, because they just had a trailer released for season 2 yesterday. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that Naughty Dog is working on Last of Us 3. There is no freaking doubt in my mind that that's what they're working on right now. They shelved that multiplayer project, and they went and they are probably going full steam ahead on Last of Us 3.
And you know what's so funny? Because if you look at any other studio or the current trajectory of how everything is going in the gaming world, it would have been reverse, right?
100%. Yeah.
You would have had like, oh, well, we're going to shelve this cool story that everybody wants for a multiplayer we can probably monetize off of. So
Yeah.
this is why, once again, I repeat, we got to support the single player games. We got to kind of go out of our way to support them a little bit more than just buying the game. Like, that's why I'm not even mad at the $70 price tag, because
No.
if you get an experience, like if you get an experience that you're going to remember forever, right? Can you really put a price tag on that?
I mean, and like
That's
I
kinda how
said,
I look
yeah,
at it.
I agree. And like I said, this is this is going to be a good pickup for people who, have never played the first game. People like me, I've never played the first or the second game.
Me neither.
But if this was maybe $50, I would consider it. But I don't feel the need. I'm not compelled enough by watching people play this game series to want to play it myself. I think I get enough of that value out of watching people stream it. Just because you just mentioned Ann, she's a big fan of Horizon. She's played a lot. I think she's played and beaten both games.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I get enough enjoyment out of it. The idea of fighting metal dinosaurs with a bow and arrow is never really. It just didn't do it for me. I don't know, man.
I just need to know, and then I need to know the story. I need to understand, why are we. Where did these robots come from? Are we in the future? Are we in the past? What's going on? Because it looked prehistoric, but futuristic. I'm so like, are they aliens? Chat, don't spoil it for me. I never played the game. I want to find out. But
yeah,
Dark Star.
And then I mean, it may do what the Fallout TV show did for me, and that's piqued my interest enough to maybe want to play one of the games. When the Horizon show comes out, whatever it looks like, I think it's being developed by Amazon. I kind of hope it is, because they did a really good job with Fallout. So I got some kind of hope there. Maybe I'll be interested after watching the show to want to check out the game. So this could be a thing that they're betting on. So
I won't be getting it immediately, because this come out around the time Sparking Ass come out. So
yeah, it comes out October 31st. So that's gonna be a
when does Sparking Ass come out?
October 11th. If I remember right.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna be playing that. Sparking Ass gonna shut down the gaming community.
Come on, man.
Probably for about a good month. What? All right, for the people who are listening,
Sparking Zero.
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I like to affectionately call it Sparking Ass.
Oh man,
because that's what I'm gonna be doing when I pick up the sticks, Sparking Ass. But yeah, anyway, I believe it's on you, and we got two that we're gonna talk about, and we might as well just put it in a bundle, put it in a box, and put a ribbon on that thing.
Yeah, we are running a little bit out of time here. So this could be the last one, and then we could talk about Ghost, I guess.
Oh, you do? Oh, Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. So I cannot leave without talking about Dynasty Warriors Origins,
which was on my list, by the way.
Yes, this game looks like we were talking about just good old, just fun, button masher.
Hurting your hands because you're mashing the same button 1,000 times.
You're the most powerful person on the field, 1 against 1,000. Like, if nobody's ever played Dynasty Warriors, it's hard for me to explain it to you. You're not gonna care about the story. It's very good. It's based on War in Three Kingdoms, generally, loosely. If you care about history, it's kind of cool. But other than that, you're literally just running around and murdering hundreds of people. And I'm here for it. Like, I'm so excited for this game. It makes no sense. Like,
I just want to talk to the audience real quick. Dre, that actually was a little bit further down my list, but due to time constraints, we probably won't.
Man,
talk about it. Maybe on the Patreon.
We could talk about it during the stream too. I actually got some hard thoughts that I don't think y'all gonna like.
Yeah, we're talking about Hell Is Us.
Yeah, yeah.
But we have to talk about Dynasty Warriors. We obviously got to talk about Ghost. Then we definitely got to talk about Monster Hunter. So
Game of the Year 2025, man. That's the best game coming out next year.
Monster Hunter?
Yeah. Monster Hunter's Game of the Year, guys. You heard it here first. Let's just go ahead and talk about it.
Remember this.
Fine, since you guys are really twisting my arm, to talk about Monster Hunter.
Ain't nobody twisting your damn arm. You want to talk about it,
Yeah, I
and it's
guess if you
okay.
guys
It's
want to
okay.
drag it out of me,
Oh,
you
brother,
know.
knock it off, freak.
But no, all seriousness, man. Monster Hunter got its release date trailer. Very, very excited for this, man. This game this is gonna be it for me, man. I don't know what else I need past this game next year. This game comes out February 28th, 2025. I will, give myself a little pat on the back. I did call it. I said this game was gonna come out by the end of March because it just makes sense for them to do this again, like they did with World, and make all the money that they are going to make on this series. I mean, you got crossplay, you got, just this all the different improvements and how open the game looks. I can't gush enough about it, man. I want to hear your thoughts about it if you're excited. That's coming out earlier in the year next year. If this is gonna be a day one pickup for you. You guys already know how I feel about it, but I'm curious about DC, man.
And he's curious about me because I'm the Monster Hunter misfit who always goes out into the field unprepared and then get his ass beat. But I've been thoroughly watching this game, and it's because I want to be good at it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I posted, I want to say it was Reddit, it might have been Instagram. I was talking to a guy who was really against Monster Hunter, right? But he had the same problem that I had. He went into it thinking it was like going to be like a hack and slash type of game.
Sure, sure.
And I did the same thing. I made the mistake of doing that and I hated it. I was like, I don't understand the movement of this game. It moves weird. It's stupid and whatever. I had a really bad experience because I didn't know the mechanics of the game. And so I was explaining it to this guy, and then he kind of understood the same way I understood. Like, once I started playing with y'all, and y'all started to school me on the mechanics of the game and how it works and how you have to prepare for the hunts, and
Yeah,
it's just deeper than running out there trying to hack and slash. Then I started to enjoy the game and kind of want to get better at the series. This one, I'm definitely going to pick this up with you guys because I do want to play with y'all and I do want to have a full, like, just Monster Hunter experience. The game looks great.
yeah,
The monsters, I'm very big on, like, besides like mech and shit like that. I love a good monster design. Like, it looked like they really got into their bag with these monster designs and their
yeah.
whatever their attacks or whatever we're like looking at or we seen during the demo, even though like a lot of it was like cutscenes, I was just like, man, this looks good. Not only is it just like doing what Monster Hunter does, it looks good. It
It
looks
does,
fun.
man.
It's like I want to learn the mechanics. I want to pick a weapon and master it. And I'm looking forward to like playing a game how it's supposed to be played, and playing with people that I actually enjoy playing with, not randoms, and
Right.
people who's going to be patient with you and give you see games like this. And usually Monster Hunter community is pretty good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I've
that's what I
I've
was
come
gonna say.
across a
Yeah.
lot of random people that were more than willing to help me out. So once I get in there and I just learn all the mechanics and like not just the beginning stuff because I'm good there. Like whenever I play Monster Hunter, like I could play put in a good solid hours and I'm good. But then when you get to the real hunt,
Yeah.
when you start hunting the big boys and stuff, that's where I
The
kind of get
apex
lost.
predators and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I kind of fall off because I'm not the most strategic person when it comes to things like that. So I say that to say this, not to be long winded, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this game and experience with the homies, and just to see that everybody I know personally in my inner circle so excited about this game, it makes me even more excited to like just jump in and learn. And then me, I'm always trying to make sure I'm contributing to the team.
Being
I
a
try to
team
find my
player.
little
Yeah.
yeah, I try to find my little pocket and try to help out as much as I can. So I'm hyped, man. I'm definitely hyped for this new Monster Hunter.
Yeah, man, and yeah, Darkstar, that's correct. So the team that worked on Monster Hunter World is the same team that are making this one, and the team that made Rise, I believe, is a different team in general. So I mean, they have a good, it seems like, development process for Monster Hunter, and it's been about 5 years. It'll be close to 6 by the time this game comes out. That World came out, which is crazy to
This
think
water
about.
monster
Yeah,
looks like hell. This
I
water monster
mean,
looks like a bitch.
it's just the game just looks so like the ecosystem and stuff looks more alive, and I really do like this, like, no jokes aside, this might be game of the year for me personally. I know that next year has some really strong contenders for games in general, but I mean, this game did a lot for me as like a content creator too, man. Like, when I was streaming on Mixer, and there was a pretty big Monster Hunter community on Mixer,
Oh
and
yeah, they gonna have your back.
yeah, the community's super welcoming, just like DC said, and that's rare in games, and you know, it's just awesome. When are we playing Rise? It's over, man. I'm not playing nothing until this game comes out. I'm not playing a Monster until this comes out. It's over with. I love you dearly, but it's over, bro. That ship has gone. It's sailed, man.
Hey, is that the one where I got stuck in the snow and was getting my ass whooped?
No, that was Iceborne. So that was the expansion. But you can
Hey,
also think
Iceborne
too,
can kiss
like,
my ass.
WoW's is probably gonna have an expansion or two. Iceborne really did a lot for World, and I think it came out a year or two after the release. So I mean, we're gonna be eating good, man. My Hunter fans are gonna be eating good for a long time coming and shit. And once again, Capcom, man, they are just they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, man. So yeah,
They just sitting over there sitting pretty, and that water monster looks awful.
yeah,
I do not looking forward to fighting whatever the fuck that is. Okay,
yeah, man.
it looks awesome.
Capcom is Goat Comics. They're
Goat.
they're doing great, man. But yeah, since we're running out a little out of time here, guys. Oh yeah, we're definitely just gonna talk about Ghost of Yotei, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima.
Stop being weird.
Yeah, we'll touch on that too.
We got another lady in the house. Stop being weird.
Totally different environment. Well, not as far as like it's still in Japan, but they said, I believe, about 300 years after Ghost of Tsushima. So Jin Sakai, his story is done, over with, dusted, and we are playing a new character. I believe her name is Atsu, and she is the new ghost. So not sure what the story is, but the trailer really just, I mean, man, I know we talk a lot about games looking really good, but this game is going to be freaking beautiful, man. If this trailer is any indication, like I'm there day one. I don't know about you, man. Like, are you excited to check this out? You finished Tsushima, didn't you? I've never played the DLC.
Oh man, I finished that son bitch a lot of times. I'm actually proud to say,
Nice.
like, I don't beat games often,
Right.
but boy, I beat the shit out of this game and the DLC. Man, when I tell you, I love this game. For me to beat a game, I got a lot of games I done got to
Right.
90%, like almost finished, and they didn't never seen the light of day again. But when I tell you I am invested, like, dude, I love this freaking game, man. What they created here with this game, shout out to these guys. Let me get my bucket of glaze because it's going on, baby. Like, I fucking love this game.
Shout out to Sucker Punch, man, for sure.
Right, look, big bottle of glaze. All right, y'all got it because I love this game. But needless to say, this shit is bought. This might be a pre-order for me.
Man,
like, I hope it come with something cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I hope if they give me something cool with the pre-order, like I might get a limited edition of this shit. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just like
Give me a
everything.
helmet.
Everything they did, man, with the first game, I fully expect them to build on it. And they talked about, there was a blog post that Sony released after the showcase talking where the studio kind of gave their thoughts about why they decided to move on from Jin, is that they wanted to try something new and really turn the Ghost universe into a franchise. And I could really see them doing that. Like, I kind of like this. This could be like an anthology series, between each mainline game, where there's different points in history where,
and I like that.
Yeah, there could be a extenuating character that carries on the name of Ghost. Because I fully expect there should be some inspiration from her motives, you know, maybe from what he did when the Mongols invaded Japan.
Yeah,
And
we don't know the connection yet. Like
yeah,
everybody's quick to jump to these conclusions like, "Oh, we want such and such back and we want this and we man, it could be she could be like you never know how their story is going to connect. If it don't connect, I'm
yeah, he
fine
could
with
just
that.
be another Japanese legend to her. I mean,
She
300
might be a
years
little
is
orphan in a village that he like,
right.
freed, or she might have been inspired to see her village freed by him, or it's just something crazy, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
maybe she heard the stories of the great ghost, the man who turned ghost, and who
who
knows? Who
repelled the
this
Mongol
game's gonna be
invasion? You know, the island of
bro,
Tsushima.
this
That's gonna
game's
be
gonna be
cool.
beautiful. It's in the snow, it's in the mountains, big sexy mountains, big sexy graphics. Just sexy me, all right? I love this freaking game, man. I cannot wait.
Yeah,
I want a,
2025.
I want a lot of it, all right?
No release window outside of 2025. If I had to guess, or my hope would be that this game comes out in the summertime, like
Drop
Tsushima
it when
did.
Assassin's Creed come out.
No, they're not gonna do that. I hope that this hits, you know, between that June or July window, because I believe that Ghost One came out July 19th, 2019, or something like that. I think that's perfect. I mean, you know, we were critical about Sony not having anything showing for first party, and this could be the first big game for them. You know, I don't imagine this will be their fall game. You know, they're usually good for about 2 first party titles a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I suspect we'll get something else, maybe, you know, top of the year later, maybe spring they'll announce something else. Who knows? But yeah, this is it for me, man. Yeah, I agree with you. This might have to be a pre-order. This is a pre-order with this and Monster
And see,
Hunter.
that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. If this helps support what they got going on, if a pre-order would help support them, then I'm there for it. And
yeah,
I'm not just throwing out this pre-order easily because
no, for sure.
they've earned my trust. I believe this game is going to be worth
It's
a
gonna be a
pre-order. I
masterpiece, man.
believe,
It's gonna be a fucking
yeah, I
masterpiece.
believe that it deserves to be pre-ordered. Like, if I could put my money behind this, like I said, I'm gonna, hey, go buy a Sucker Punch T-shirt.
Yeah,
Go to their online site, and like most places, they do have stores and stuff where you can get cool merch. You probably get a little desk thing, like statue of her on her horse on your desk. Little stuff like that goes a long way when it comes to
oh
supporting
god,
these
this game looks so
single player
good.
campaigns, man. And look at this
It
beautiful
looks so good.
audio listeners. I know y'all don't see this because we're live. That's why you should come here live and look at us. Look at this sexy son of a bitch game. Look at it.
And you
Look at
get a
them
wolf
leaves
companion
blow.
too. Shout out to Darkstar. I was gonna mention that at the end. So the the time period that this game takes place in is close to the time period that Yasuke was active in Japan. So they could do the funniest fucking thing on earth.
Ooh, cross.
They
Cross
could do the
pollinate, huh?
absolute funniest thing on earth, and they would get more money out of me than any other studio. That would be
Let's get
great,
a
man. That
let's
would be
get a
great.
Yusuke X. Oh, ooh, the combination. Do a crossover event, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Do
But
it
yeah,
for the
we'll
people.
see, man.
Yo, one question.
Yeah.
One question though. I wonder will we get another online mode, and how polished will this online
Ooh,
mode
I
be?
hope so. Because the last
Because
one was
that was
fun.
slept on. A lot of people slept on the online mode, which was
Yeah, the online
very
co-op four
entertaining to
player
watch.
mode.
I'm not gonna say that I played it because I didn't. I would be lying. But I watched a lot of
I'd be
people
down
on
to check
stream
it out.
play it, and they
It looks
loved it.
it looks really good and it reviewed pretty well. People seem like they liked it a lot. So you're gonna
Hmm.
like raiding castles and stuff. That's pretty fire. So hopefully so. Fingers crossed, man. But yeah, I think this is
Word.
gonna be a great game. And unfortunately, guys, we're gonna have to cut the episode here. We didn't get to everything we wanted to talk about.
Go watch it, please.
But yes, please go watch the state of play.
Tell us what you
You
like.
guys need to hear the audio for the Ghost trailer. It doesn't us watching it on mute does not do it justice. But I just wanted to say, man, I appreciate you guys for being here, and wanted to give a big birthday shout out to the homie Darkstar, man. His birthday was yesterday. Y'all wish that guy happy birthday, man. Brother from another mother.
Love Star.
Appreciate him, and appreciate everybody. And yeah, man, I don't got too much, man. Thank y'all for hanging out today. We're gonna play some video games afterwards, so hang out. You guys can find me everywhere. Darius the Artist, where he is at 3 on Twitter. And DC, take us home, baby.
All right. Now that I'm standing up, can I get a Standing ovation. See what I did there?
Cool.
Yeah. Hey. Hey. Um. What the frick? I had something to say, but I always forget, per usual. Anyway, yeah, man, it's been great. Got some great games. We always encourage you because within a little hour time span that we talk about games, we can't get everything. So we really do want you guys to go check out the state of play if you haven't checked it out already. Um, Hit us up in the comments on YouTube. Tell us what we were sleeping on, what you think was fire. If you disagree with us, do it respectfully. We are open to all conversations on our Discord, our YouTube comments. We are always up for a good gaming conversation, long as it stays in a respectful place. And yeah, man, I'm ready to play some games. I'm standing up. I got my big gallon of H2O. I'm ready to sweat a little bit in Apex, baby. Go ahead and get us
All right,
on
guys.
about
Thank you
here,
guys for
Playboy.
hanging out for the audio version, man.
Happy birthday, Darkstar.
Happy birthday, Darkstar. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.